Hockey Manitoba is taking steps to address ref abuse in the game. Starting next month, all on-ice officials from the Pembina Valley region of Manitoba who are under the age of 17 will be required to wear a green armband when officiating a game. The move is meant to encourage respect on the ice from players, parents, and coaches. Joining us now to tell us more about this new initiative is Dustin Stewart from Hockey Manitoba. Good morning, Dustin.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Now tell us how bad it's been getting for hockey refs and officials in the game.
Yeah, I think it's always, it's always a challenge, with officials and in any sport. And I don't think hockey is unique in that. But over the last number of years, we definitely have seen a rise. Hockey Canada has been doing more tracking when it comes to abusive officials and just in general maltreatment across the game and tracking more of those cases. And we have seen a rise across all provinces, Manitoba included, in instances of abusive officials. So with that in mind, as a branch at Hockey Manitoba, it's something that we've really been looking at a little bit more strongly in terms of ways that we can start to curb that issue a little bit and provide some more support to our officials.
Do you find the on-ice abuse on young refs and what they experience actually affects your recruitment efforts?
Yeah, I think, we've actually been lucky over the last couple of years. We've seen record numbers of officials that have been signing up and registering each season. But the biggest question is always when you have those officials who register and you have those kids who come into the game as officials, can you retain them? Can you keep them involved? Can you keep them coming back year after year as officials? And I think that's probably where, some of these instances of these negative experiences have an impact on those kids and whether or not they choose to come back and continue as officials. And that's where, this initiative is really kind of targeted towards, is that retention of trying to keep kids in the game on the officiating side, and then hopefully through that seeing more of an elevated recruitment effort to get more kids involved beyond that point.
And if you can't retain them, what effect does that have on the game?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't have officials, you don't have a game. That's kind of a universal truth across any sport. Officials sometimes can be forgotten about within all the focus on athlete development, coach development, and all the things that happen in any sport. But within hockey, if we don't have officials, we don't have the game as we know it, and the game and the competitive nature that people across our country really seem to love.
Okay, so starting September 1st, all officials under the age of 17 will now wear a green armband as part of their uniform. Tell us how you're hoping this new initiative will work.
Yeah, the idea of looking at it to have these officials at 17 and under wearing the green armband is essentially to try and ensure that officials are being given the same opportunity that players are. Players are given, that grace and that understanding that as kids that are coming through the game, they're learning and developing, and officials are doing the exact same thing. When you have officials that are 17 and under, they are still kids. And they have to be given that opportunity to develop and learn how to grow into the positions that they're taking. We need officials at all levels of the game. Our youngest officials come in at about 13 years old. And when you have a 13-year-old that's learning how to enforce the rules, how to manage the game, that is a learning process for them. So by giving them this green armband and identifying them as a developing official, as a younger official, it's hopefully going to provide that understanding with parents, coaches, and all other stakeholders in the game to give that opportunity for those officials to have a positive experience and continue developing.
And it's just starting off in the Pembina Valley region for now, but your goal is to expand it across the province. Is that right?
Yeah, we opted to go, starting a little bit smaller. This is an initiative that has been successful in some other provinces, Saskatchewan included. And looking at that, the hope is that we are going to see a lot of success through this. But anytime you're transplanting something from another province, you want to really take that opportunity to start a little bit smaller, see if there are some areas where there may be some tweaks, some changes that do need to be made and how it is run. So the Pembina Valley region was somewhere that we looked at as being, potentially a very good kind of representation as one of our larger regions. And with some groups that are there that are really bought into this initiative and I think are going to provide a lot of support to us to allow this to be a successful rollout.
Dustin, thanks for your time today.